Your creative business has 3 levels, but unfortunately, 99% of people will never get to level 3. You see, because there's actually these secret cheat codes that only the most successful creators know about that if you don't know about, are going to keep you stuck at the same level for years until you inevitably quit. And I personally use these cheat codes for myself to go from being a broke freelancer to making over $40,000 in a single month. And I learned these cheat codes over the course of the last 5 years through working with companies like Royal Caribbean, Four Seasons, Marriott, and many others, but I've realized that most creators don't actually know these exist. So in this video, I'm going to give you the scoop as to what each level is, what's holding you back from getting to the next level, and ultimately what you can do to beat the current level that you're at so that you can get to level 3 and join the 1% of creators. Now, I will preface this by saying that level 1, it is a beginner level, but it does assume that you have a certain baseline level of content skills, so just keep that in mind. So level 1 is the beginner stage, and a lot of people get confused here in thinking that just because they have content skills means that brands should want to pay them. But in reality, you've never actually got results for a brand or proof of results, so why would they be incentivized to pay you? So your primary goal in the beginner level is number 1, to build assets, and number 2, to build experience. So you need to figure out who you want to work with and identify the top performers in that market and break down their content. Why are they doing what they're doing? Why does certain content that they post or that they use work better than others? Why are they so much better than maybe the bottom tier of that market? And then identify what those things are. And just for context, just because you can cut together some cinematic B-roll or have like a fancy edit doesn't mean that it's good content. It just means that it looks nice. So you got to understand what actually sells for clients, and the best way to do that is by studying the top performers. Now, once you have a good idea of what type of content works, what you need to do is go out and do some free spec shoots or severely discounted shoots. So this is when you'll see a lot of creators go out and do like collab shoots for hotels where they'll just stay for free for 2 or 3 nights in exchange for some content. But the big mistake here is that their primary goal is to get a free stay or to get a free product or to get free travel, when in reality, your primary goal should be to get a case study. What's a case study? Well, it's basically a portfolio, but it also shows the tangible result that the client got as a result of working with you. So if you're just going out there to shoot for free and you get no actual proof of results, then it doesn't do you any good other than you just got 2 nights of a free vacation. So what you need to do is actually figure out how you can optimize each piece of content to actually help the client in some sort of way. So all you have to do is do maybe 3 or 4 of these free shoots so that you can gather 1 to 2 case studies. And at that point, you should have enough ammo to be able to pitch your first paid project, which I would say should land somewhere in the $1,000 range. Now, some common mistakes that keep people stuck at level 1 is primarily that they're down to just do free shoots all the time and they never actually graduate to charging. Or on the flip side, they think that they should be charging right out the gate and don't do any free shoots. So therefore, in both cases, you don't get a case study and you don't get actually any proof of results. And on top of that, a lot of people believe that they should be scaling and working with more clients and more people and getting more collabs. But in reality, if you haven't actually gotten results for one client, what makes you think that you should go scale this thing that you didn't actually get results for and go work with a bunch of clients? It doesn't really make sense. And when you do this cycle enough, you'll realize, wait, I'm not getting paid. Clients aren't responding to my messages. They don't want to pay me. So you start getting the shiny object syndrome and you're like, well, maybe what I'm doing isn't working. So maybe I'll go try to build a personal brand because you saw some YouTube video about someone talking about a personal brand. And is building a personal brand a good thing? Yes, absolutely. But at this stage of the game, if you're trying to get your first client, it's not relevant to getting that first client. So it's really just a waste of time. All of your focus and attention at this stage should be primarily on building those assets, the case study, the testimonials, the proof of results, and connections. Anything that is not that is just severely a waste of time. Now, the last thing that holds people back at this stage is just severely overthinking. So you think like, what's going to happen if this happens? Or what happens if I send this type of email or this type of wording? And you start looking at your emails and just hyper analyzing each little thing and putting an emoji here and watching YouTube videos to try to figure out this little key metric that you maybe have been missing and trying to get everything perfect before you send the message, when in reality, the only way you get better is just by pressing send, right? Because action breeds clarity. And the more action you take, the more you'll figure out what works and what doesn't work. And then you optimize for what works. But if you just sit here for the next 3 months, 6 months, year, looking at YouTube videos, trying to figure out the perfect script to send for your messages, then you could have landed plenty of deals in that same amount of time by just sending messages and learning what works. But the problem is, instead of doing that, most people get caught up in their head about being scared of rejection or scared of making a mistake. So they end up worrying about things that don't actually matter. So things like their gear or followers or building a personal brand or all this stuff that's not actually relevant to landing your first client. So that being said, how do you know that you've actually passed level 1? You know that you've passed level 1 when you have at least one paying client in your ideal niche, somewhere around $1,000, and you have at least 1 or 2 case studies of actual results. Not just that you've worked with somebody, but actual results. Now that brings us to level number 2, which is the freelance stage. And to be honest, this is where most creators get stuck for their entire career. You might even be stuck here as well. I know I was for a very long time. And the reason why is because we treat this as kind of the end goal, okay? We treat this as we're just trying to max out profitability at this point, when in reality, your goal should really be to sign maybe 4 to 6 lower ticket clients. So we're talking less than $1,000, and maybe 1 to 2 higher ticket clients, which is typically in the $1,500 to $2,500 range. That's your goal. And even though you know you could probably charge more than that, you don't want to, because you want to optimize for getting the most client results that you possibly can. So now instead of going from 1 or 2 case studies, ideally you have like 5 or 6. Now the biggest problem at this stage that I see among freelancers, and myself included, is that you don't have the ability to say no. So you have to take on pretty much any job that comes. So somebody comes to you and they offer you $1,000 for a shoot, and maybe you're like, it's not really my ideal client, but if I don't take this $1,000, I can't pay the bills next month. Like, that's a tough position to be in. So you end up having to take on clients that are maybe not ideal, but at least it kind of keeps the business afloat. The problem with this is most of these clients are cheap for a reason, because they are extremely high maintenance. So because they're cheap, you have to take on more clients, which means that you become overworked, and you also start to feel underpaid because you're kind of doing everything for everybody at this point. You don't really have a systemized process. So for one client, you might be doing a bunch of reels. Another one, you're doing a story video. Another one, you're doing, I don't know, some pictures, and it's just kind of random. And on top of that, even though you know you should probably charge more, you either are afraid to ask for more, or you physically can't charge more because you're a commodity. You're just like every other videographer or photographer out there. So what you're worried about is maybe you have a client that's paying you $500 a month right now, and you want to get them to $1,500, but you're scared because if you ask them to raise their rate to $1,500, they're going to be like, I can just find another person just like you and pay them $500 instead. So now you just lost your $500 client that you have to go find someone else for. And that's a really tough place to be in, because it's kind of a catch-22. It's like, I need to charge more so I can actually afford to, hire a team and scale my business. But at the same time, I feel like I can't charge more because the client's just going to leave me and I don't know where my next client's coming from. So it's just really tough. And because you're in that situation, you just have to take on more clients every single month. And you end up trying to get to level 3 of hyper profitability in your content business, but you're trying to do it by yourself, which always leads to burnout. And this is ultimately the reason why most creative businesses fail. It's not because they don't have good content. It's not because they don't work with clients. It's because they hit burnout because they're doing everything themselves, and they've hit the peak in terms of how much they feel like they can charge. So in order to break this level, what you have to do is create an offer that's so much different than what every other videographer is doing, so that you can justify a higher price. And not only that, you actually have to have a consistent client inflow so that you're not worried about saying no to business or potentially losing a client because you want to charge more, because you know you have some coming in. So that brings me to level number 3, which is when you become a value creator. And this is the level that you can actually focus on scalability as well as profitability in your business. So your goal at this stage should really be to sign probably between 2 to 4 higher ticket clients. And when I say high ticket, I mean like $3,500 minimum. I've charged a whole lot more than that, but that's the minimum. So when somebody comes to you and they're like, hey, I got $1,000 for this project, unless it's like an hour shoot and you just hand over footage, you're probably going to say no to it. And that's the stage that I want you to get to, because that's the stage when you have true financial and time freedom. And it's not just because you're arrogant and you're like, no, I'm worth it, I get to charge $5,000 for this project. It's actually because you're confident that you charging $5,000 is actually bringing the company far more than $5,000 worth of value. But you can only do that if you have the case studies and the proof to back it up, so you can prove it not only to yourself, but also to other clients. And what this does when you have it paired with a consistent client acquisition system is that you have clients coming in on a weekly basis that are having calls with you, and they're interested in working with you. And not every call is a do or die situation. So if somebody doesn't close, no big deal. We got one coming up tomorrow. So now, because you charge significantly more, you can reinvest into your client acquisition. It means you get more clients, which means you can charge more, which means you get better case studies, which ultimately means you can choose the types of jobs that you want to take on, only work with your ideal clients, and ultimately you make more by shooting less, and everything that's not in alignment with what exactly you want to do, you can outsource. So for example, if you just want to take on certain projects, you can shoot those and be the creative director for the rest of them, and hire somebody to do your outbound prospecting, to do your editing, to do your sales. You can hire people to do this stuff because you have the excess margin to afford it. Now, I will say there are some common mistakes that I see people make at this level, and that's, first and foremost, just hiring bad talent. So these are people that are just lazy or just not in alignment with what you want. And ultimately, this just comes down to a leadership problem. Is a lot of people at this stage they're not used to being leaders. So that's a skill skill that you have to develop to be able to actually manage the team. The next problem I see is signing clients that aren't in full alignment with what you want to do. So you end up kind of doing everything for everybody, kind of similar to the freelance stage. And this keeps you super burnt out, because if you're doing custom projects for everybody, you can't systematize the process, and it's very difficult to train the team to be able to systemize the process and get consistent results for the clients. And then the last thing is maybe you start to see some of this money coming in, so you start slowing down on prospecting. So if you have clients start to churn, or maybe you just have one-off projects or something like that, well, if you don't have more clients coming in because you stop prospecting, well, it kind of puts a kink in the system. But assuming that you have consistent client acquisition, that you're getting on consistent calls, that you have a offer that is actually repeatable, that you can teach somebody on to hire a team, then there's no reason why you can't have complete financial freedom at this stage, and also time freedom to work on only the things you want to work on. Now, if you're watching this video and you resonate with anything I just said, maybe you are at level 1 or 2 or 3, or maybe you're just feeling burnt out and you don't know where the next stage is. Well, I help creators overcome that exact issue. I help you create offers that brands can't say no to and you can charge high ticket rates to. I also help you get on consistent sales calls, as well as when you're on those calls, understand how to have the confidence to pitch your service and pitch the results, so it's not a hard sell, but it's actually serving and helping the client. And once you have enough clients where you feel like you can't do it all yourself, I'll help you build out the team, like having somebody do your outbound setting and having somebody do your editing and potentially even your sales, so that you can actually get yourself out of the business and only focus on the things you want to focus on. And ultimately, just optimizing your entire business so that you are able to have both time and financial freedom, so that you can make more while working less. Now, I'll be honest, if you want to work with me one-on-one in the program, it's not cheap. We don't offer refunds. We don't have any guarantees, but we do have results. You can check out some of the results on my YouTube channel as well as my Instagram. And by the way, if you want more information about how I can personally help you and what the program looks like, then just DM me on Instagram at Nash Hagen, P2C, and I'll send you more information about the program and how we can get started. If you got any value out of this video, I would love if you gave it a massive like, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.